Today is Quitters Day, where more than half of you watching this video right now might have already given up on your New Year resolutions. Are you one of the quitters? Have you already given up on your goals? In this video, I'm going to walk through my goal setting process for 2022. Also, I'm going to update on whether have I achieved my financial goal of 500,000 in net worth, but more about this later. The truth about setting goals is that big goals require small steps. Many of us set goals without having a plan in place. Perhaps your goals are too vague, or you have no idea where to start tackling your big goals. The thing is, I used to think that setting goals creates a form of desire and that we should or would be unhappy until we achieve them. If we are going to just disappoint ourselves or our future selves, then why should we even have them? A popular quote from James Clear says, "You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems." Your goal is your desired outcome. Your system is the collection of daily habits that will get you there. The problem with a goal-first mentality is that you're continually putting your happiness off until the next milestone is met. For years, happiness was always something for my future self to enjoy. It creates an either-or conflict, where either you achieve your goals and be successful and happy, or you do not achieve your goals and be a failure. Because of that, I have not set goals for myself for many years, until I eventually learned that by having a system-first mentality, is a better way to approach your goals. When you fall in love with the process, you can be satisfied anytime your system is running. Having little rewards and cues that makes a successful system will help you slowly chip away at your goal. How I set goals. So here's what I do. I start by defining my life pillars. In general, most people have similar pillars and have an order of priority. I find this to be very helpful to gain clarity on what is important, looking at the big picture. Mine are health and fitness, relationships, learning and growth, and career and finance. Each pillars are further broken down into focus areas. For each focus area, you will then set your goals. Having a goal is like a compass. It sets the direction that we want to go towards. The most important part is the action plan or system, as James Clear refers. How do you want to execute your goals? What is the actual strategy and plan? Action plan are in the forms of habit and projects. Goals are good for planning your progress, and systems are good for actually making progress. Why? It's because systems are what you can control. This should be your focus. A writer can't control how her audience will react to her work, whether anyone will read her blog post, or how many people will buy her book. But she can control how many words she writes and how many hours of deep work she does each day. If you schedule a habit or system and continually show up for it, you should be able to make progress towards your goal. Therefore, pillars and focus areas help us to prioritize, goals give us a direction, and action plan drives us there. Building systems, a walkthrough. The most important pillars for me is health and fitness. For us to enjoy life in the best possible way when we are in our best, physically and mentally. Exercise is the fountain of youth, just that many people don't want to put in the hard work, and it makes you happy. Goals I have is definitely, like most women, a target weight. While it is a number that I would like to achieve, more importantly, I want to be a ninja. Okay, my actual goal is to achieve 3 pull-ups and an unassisted handstand. Oh, and I also want to be better at skating. Action plans for health and fitness are definitely more habit-focused, such as going to the gym regularly. For me, minimally, I am looking at 4 times a week. And to learn how to skate, I'll need to practice more often, so I'm just scheduling about 2 times a week. Under the pillar of relationships, I have jingles, families and friends, community, and God. Goals under this category is to become closer to the people that I love more, spend more time with them. And I also want to get a home this year so that it could be a place for gathering. Action plan under the happy category would be things like having a date every fortnight, traveling overseas, having lunch with my grandma every weekend. Also, under the action plan, I would have projects such as getting a house. And getting a house is a huge project because it involves many little steps that I need to take before finally getting a house. Actions will be researching on the houses, knowing my budget, ensuring that I can have the loan for it, and all the regulations that I need to be aware of. For the pillar of learning and growth, I believe life is all about learning and creating. This is how we can grow a person, and if you're not growing, you're dying. Goals in this area includes books that I want to read, courses that I would like to educate myself with, and also creating. This YouTube channel would not exist for my desire to create last year. I used to only focus on learning, such as going for courses and reading. But I learned that while consuming educational content makes you feel smarter, creation or creating things such as a blog post or article or even a YouTube video will help cement what you have learned and to apply what you have learned. Having a project where you can be creative, where you can hone your craft or hobbies helps you to grow as a person. Therefore, under action plan, I have both projects and habits. Projects will be such as something like this YouTube channel. Habits will be something like writing more regularly, reading more regularly, and making sure I set time for learning new courses such as investing. Lastly is the financial and career goals. It is a pillar because you need money to survive. But in terms of priority, I would place it not as important as health or relationships. Similarly, while a career is important, but if that career do not offer me a chance to learn and grow as a person, then I would not be fulfilled. It is not as simple as going for a job that pays you the most or the fastest way to become a millionaire at the expense of your relationship or health. So, having a balance is key. When it comes to the pursuit of money, we always think from the perspective of how much money we can gain or how much money we can lose. But it is not just a financial question. Instead, we should think of when we chase or make a choice to choose money, we need to think how much time we could lose, how much sanity we could lose, how much reputation could I lose, how much happiness could I lose. Opportunity cost is not just about money. For financial goals, it is simpler because it is usually more number focused. These are things like achieving 500,000 in my net worth, income from options trading, and paying off debt. The action plans will be habits such as regularly saving up and not spend too much, and ensuring that I invest or set aside money every month into my various investing areas such as the Robo-advisors. For projects, it will be learning how to invest better and learning how to value a company better. Reviewing 2021 goals. Before I set goals for the new year, I will typically review my previous year's goals to see which areas I have accomplished and which areas that I did not meet my goals. For health, I did not meet my target of 3 pull-ups and unassisted handstands, so I'm just keeping it the same for this year. I remembered that I had a goal to do just 1 pull-up, and I took 2 years to actually achieve the goal. While it wasn't done within a year, I was still happy when I managed to achieve the goal. The reason why this goal is important because it set a direction, and more importantly, the person I become managed to cultivate and maintain a habit of exercising more often. For relationships, I think that there are many areas that could be improved from last year to this year. Spending more time with my grandparents and parents. With the busyness of our day-to-day lives, we tend to neglect spending time with our family. Since my mom and sis don't live in Singapore, it's even harder for me to connect with them even though there is technology. So it's possible I like to visit them and to call them more often. Next, for learning and growth. I could do much better when it comes to reading more and learning more last year. So this year, I would continue to check this off and create more of a habit when it comes to setting time aside to spend time learning and reading. Lastly, for finance, I think this is the update that people are waiting for. Mid of last year, I decided to share that I want to reach 500,000 by the end of last year. It seems at the time quite an audacious goal because even if I could save up all my salary from my job, I would not be able to meet the goal. In fact, it is a crazy number where I have to force myself to be creative and to search for ways outside of my job to reach that goal. I wanted to see how I could challenge myself. Since then, I have learned how to trade options, and I wanted to see if I could rely on that as another stream of income. However, because I was not diligent in keeping up to date with all the happenings, especially in November, I've not been doing well in terms of maintaining my profits for the entire year, and so far I have lost about 50,000 or so since the date. Therefore, this year I want to have more focus in trading options, keeping up with the financial news, and understand how monetary policy affects the stock market. Also, learning more about valuation. That means going back to the basics. That's why when people ask me why don't I manage my own money, I'm always very hesitant to do so because I don't think I'm experienced enough. Therefore, to ensure that I spread my risk, I would prefer to invest some of my money with Robo-advisors as well as building up my CPF funds. Of course, in addition, I'm working at a job where I have consistent income every month, so I could continue investing into the markets because time in the market is better than timing the market. How I achieve my goals. We need a way to drive us to the goals. Transform your goals into action. To set myself up for success, I follow the following steps. Schedule your habits and projects into your calendar so that you make sure that you set aside time to do it. Show up and build momentum. First, you are in a relationship with yourself. When you forego your goals and don't show up, you are disappointing yourself and you're kind of cheating on yourself. And you deserve better than that. You cannot rely on motivation to get you there. A better way is to build momentum. Review and adjust accordingly. Over the years, I've set many goals and quit some of them, and some of them failed. I realized that the goals that I failed are those goals that I've set that are vague, or there is a problem with my action plan, which is my habits and projects. Typically, I'll review the action plan and adjust them. Having a tracking system or journal helps. It's only when you look back on the many weeks of documenting that we can understand the patterns and challenges that we face on a weekly basis. So using that, you can adjust your system accordingly. Goals are not achieved overnight but incrementally over a long period. It is only by showing up and executing each habits and projects that we can work slowly towards our goals. Accountability. The best kind of system is where you can stick to it easily. You don't need much thinking. But sometimes it is hard to be motivated. So if you want it badly, make it hurt when you don't show up. For me, sometimes I get lazy when I need to go to the gym. But because I know that I have already paid for the gym membership, if I don't show up, all the money will go to waste. I hate wasting money. Similarly, you can look into having an accountability partner, such as your friend or your other half, to keep you in check. Lastly, don't beat yourself up too much if you don't meet your targets. If you miss a day or two, it's okay. Just get back on track. It's only the third week of 2022. If you have already lost the motivation to achieve your goals for 2022, don't be afraid to start again. Don't give up. My name is Ying and I'm on a journey to reach 500,000 in net worth for 2022. I share my learnings about adulting, finance, and general life hacks. If you'd like to join us in our journey, subscribe to our channel or follow us on our Medium publication, or watch this video on my strategy to FIRE. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye!